Oh,
Woo!
hello world, as they say when you're programming your first thing. How y'all doing? We are back from our break. We just had a session yesterday with the Relic Hunters. We have two tables now, one going Friday, one going Saturday. This is the Saturday session themed the Wayfinders. Entirely new cast except for the person below that you see returning, which is the DM for the campaign, which is you're playing Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do what everyone hates to do when back when they were in school and stand up in front of the class and
Oh, no.
that wouldn't do it. But we'll start with good. Nice to see you, Adventure. We'll start with Gabe. So Gabe, tell us a bit about you're off camera. Tell us a bit about your character.
Uh, Gabriel is a very shy and anxious gnomish boy who has a very bad string of events happen to him that make him think he is a walking lightning rod for bad things. He didn't really have the best time as he transitioned from a child into adulthood, kinda. He's still teetering on being a teenager for a gnome. He's got oversized clothes that kind of drag behind him. He's got a rat named Yorkie, real cutie she is, and he's got a spell book made out of scrap paper, and he's a prodigy raised up in the slums, basically.
So you bring up a really interesting point, right? So Gabriel has a spell book made out of scrap paper, not a very traditional way to do spell books. How'd that come about, bud?
Well, that came about because in Crystallis there are two levels: the upper city and lower city. Gabriel was raised in the lower city, and he would frequently pick papers, parchments, inks, and these special materials that wizards would usually have easy access to if they're in the lower city and therefore richer.
Mm-hmm.
He pieced his own book together and pieced pieces of spells together and eventually made his own.
Very cool. All right, we're gonna go. Let's go clockwise from where we have our display up on stream, which means, hey, Alara,
Time to shine.
it's time to escape. This is L1, R1, and
man.
hold.
Elara is a high elf cleric from Elohim. It's an Elven city, very far from where we're starting this game. She is a sage for astronomy. It's her biggest passion and also the reason that drove her to leave her city and follow under her god Celestia, a star wanderer. So she's very much about wandering, exploring new places, and kind of trying to figure out this crazy world that she is placed in and to experience it without a biased view from her city and what the high elves think. She has long red hair and wears kind of traditional elven clothes, like a high collar. It's like a teal color robe. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say.
No, that was quite a bit. So very cool, and it's interesting to note, as mentioned, where Alara comes from is very far removed from the rest of the world and where the campaign is currently set, and almost the point of looking in the world through propaganda, and that it's not an accurate view, whereas Alara is now getting to experience it firsthand. So thank you, Safina. You're up.
But that's what I'm here for.
All right. So Spina is a half elf from the Dolphin tribe. I'll try and keep this relatively short. But because he is a half breed, he got not kicked out, but ceremonially escorted away, I guess, out of
It was your time to leave, Mundo.
I know, right? So he eventually is saved by the Order of the Sun monks, and he then goes and joins their ranks because he's searching for like a new place to live and to have like a family. So on one of his like routine missions, he falls in love and he asks for like I guess like a reprieve to go and like find this person, and he did. And then Safina did something stupid, and he ended up in hell for a little while because he saved this person's life by taking their place. He eventually escaped hell, and then he found out what happened to the person he saved, which ended up being a demon and killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he like had his me time to kind of like attempt to get himself together. He more or less did, more or less didn't. So he has like a physical compass that kind of shows him like how to get like what is his heart desires, and at this point he's looking to find his master again at the monastery. So he is trying to find her. He's having a little bit of difficulty, but he knows someone in Verde who might be able to help him with his broken compass. So that's where he's headed. And I think that more or less wraps it up.
Yep. So Safina's a very interesting character in that, well, all that you just mentioned, and that he's a returning character from a previous campaign.
Yeah.
Slayers Anonymous.
Slayers Anonymous, which wasn't last season, but the season prior.
5.
That's right, season 5. Those are you two. If you're ever so curious what happened to Safina prior to, it's all there and recorded.
Check it out.
And players in the world get they can get written out, they can get killed. But in Highly Magical Worlds, it's probably easier to stop following the main story of the party versus complete murder realization. The compass that Safina had was very instrumental in finding the person that he was looking for this entire time, but now it's a little broken. So finding instead his master, person by the name of Soul Sarah, going to Seoul, where did you clear up whether you were going to meet Alara there in session 0 or not?
We went. Yeah, we're traveling to Verde in the same party, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
So you took basically the standard communication back between Sal and Verde, back with Alara. So they're like one day chummy, so to speak, because they're in the same traveling location. Very, very McCoolerson. So, rounding out this motley crew would be Cassandra. Tell us about your character.
So I'm playing Cassandra Avon. She's a half-elf paladin. Her family was merchants, so she spent most of her time in cities or like a little bit of traveling if they needed to go sell stuff outside of it. But her life kind of changed when she met Troy. He taught her how to be a fighter, so she was a very vicious fighter, like dual wielding, like would kill stuff. She was very reckless, and they were in love, and they thought that they were going to travel the world together, and just kind of be this unstoppable force. But then he got seduced by the cult of Gigareth, and she didn't like the looks of it. She didn't want to follow him there, so they split. And then about a week or so later, she went back to go try to find him and convince him to come back with her, and she found that he had died by Ty Targaryen, who was last season one of the main characters there, who's going after the cult of Gigareth. So after that, she kind of changed her mindset, and she's really devastated by it. She kind of had the idea that she wasn't there to protect him, so now she must protect as many people as she can and stop them from having the same fate as him. So she kind of pulled back her ferocious fighting and made it more like, I will protect things, as she started picking up a shield and taking it more seriously. And now she is going through Verde, just trying to figure out any more information about the cult of Gigareth, because she blames them for his death. Also Ty a little bit, mainly the cult of Gigareth. And then she wants to try to protect as many impressionable people from falling under their spell so that they don't have the same fate.
Cassandra Vaughn. Beautiful name, by the way.
Thank
Yes.
you.
What Lara has a beautiful last name too. What's Alara's full name?
Alara Dwanania.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I have no idea how I even.
You're just like, Dwarnia! Oh God, excuse. Bless me.
I took,
Bless
like,
me,
letters.
Celestian!
I just like took like letters and like threw them on my table like you do dice and just
Yeah.
like, that worked.
Looked in the
Sounds
alphabet
like an
soup.
elven name.
Yeah, no one wanted to eat those W's in the alphabet soup, so there they were. So a little bit about the table, a little about the session. The table's theme has to do primarily with exploration of the characters in the world, which is a far remove from the epic fantasy, which was last season. Epic fantasy being your very save the world, huge crisis, high stakes, high reward sort of thing. This is a little bit lower key. It's more about these beautiful broken souls that just described who they were and how they're interacting in the world that there is. It's focused completely on them. We keep everything in Discord and World Anvil to start tracking their exploits. That said, a thing that we do a little different is instead of beat up 10 goblins, get experience level up, we do it more by what you accomplish to that table goal of exploration of yourself in the world. And we do a very high social element, which is cards. Follow a very terror system towards the end of it, and they're all about explain to me what makes your character three-dimensional and a real person. Everyone starts with 3 cards. Every single session will give new ones. If you're interested in tracking along, obviously watch, or check World Anvil for all the massive amounts of text RP we do, which is fantastic. We'll do the same thing, but in reverse of what your cards are, starting with Cassandra.
Okay. So my cards are, what is the furthest you have traveled from home? Where did you learn your talents? And what is your greatest strength?
Good ones.
Yeah.
Safina, what are your cards?
My cards are, do you like yourself?
Oh my God!
Diving right in.
Just
Right in.
just solid draw.
How do you deal with stress? And would you visit another plane of
Oh my
existence?
God! I would like to point out that as the DM, Buckland, for this, I do not choose these for the players. They are completely at random from the deck. That is created. Wow.
Got real.
I think I need to process that for a second. That was really good. Alara, what are your cards?
Mine are, does the unknown make you excited or anxious?
Ooh.
What is your greatest fear? And when is it okay to lie?
Greatest fear that Celestian's evil. I'm just...
That's it. She's gone. L1 R1. Hold for 3 seconds. Gabriel, what are your cards?
How do you deal with stress? Who would you ask for help for something important to you? Do you argue with people or avoid conflict?
Interesting. Especially given Gabriel's very Omen-esque and very disordered background. Okay. So we're going to dive right in. We're about 13 minutes into our 4-hour role-playing session. Currently, it's set in the wonderful little town of Verde. Verde, from the idea of where Arhor'ha is, which is a continent west of Swords Coast, north of Moonshades, out in the waters, is the most frontier town that you can get east of the mountains. What is it? Safini helped me out with that. Bree is a good example for a visualization of where you'd be in. There's trees and forest and wilderness and howling wolves to the north of you. There is a huge expanse of this mountain that touches as high as the sky, breaking clouds in this sky aurora that's constantly giving some aurora borealis-like effect to the ground below it and stars twinkling just right beyond. There's this huge arching tunnel that goes through the mountain range, making this a last stop east of the mountains before people venture west. Elohim, which was mentioned in Alara's background, is the only real civilization that exists west of the mountains. That said, very rich environment, elves sort of stuff, so there's a lot of desire to be on that side. And the frontier town that exists on that is a little town called Sol, which Safina was mentioning looking for his mentor, Sol Sarah. You're in Verde. We'll start off with Gabriel. You are finishing up your last bit of work at the Tinkerers and Travelers, the little magic shop that you stole from as it was giving you the ability to like eat and drink a little decanter of endless water that was reclaimed after you accidentally broke it. Upon fixing it, it now produces a liquid. It's just wine, and only once a week. With similar gnomes at your disposal, you finish up your final chore with gnomes, and we'll set the scene as you walk towards the Green Stag, the major tavern that exists along the road. We are set over Mikia, and Alara, you're not here yet. I'm gonna move you over into the kitchen.
It's where you belong.
Safina, you and
here.
You were. So Cassandra and Safina, you are currently seated and having your meal there as two gnomes enter the tavern. Gabriel?
Yes.
Come on now. We're gonna get a final meal. I'm not gonna work you to your bones here, and not at least feed you. Have you given any thought about your future? You could apprentice down at this my shop. I'm getting kind of old, you know. And he runs a hand through his white hair, past his goggles.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
What's that? You're speaking too slowly. I've already thought about two different things in that time. So you know what? Let's get you a hot meal. Warm up your brain.
Okay.
All right. Cassandra, you're familiar with this person. He's one of the people that works in the Travelers and Tinkerers. Place where you generally don't go because magical items are pretty flippin' expensive. And that is primarily what they sell. Safina, you are currently seated at one of the few tables that will accompany you with Cassandra, as you see that and your old chum, Gabe.
When he sees Gabriel, he'll wave him over. Over here.
Gabe's just looking around nervously. York checks on Yorkie to see if she's okay, just tucked away in a little pocket underneath his cloak. Sees Safina. He lightly taps the man on the shoulder. I think I'll go with him. I know him. I'll go. And
So,
he kind of tries to excuse himself, trying to like.
as you start talking, you notice like the gnome here be like, get it out, man.
As he's doing this, I'm gonna be looking at Gabe because it's kind of reminding her of like a sad baby deer that needs to be
That's fair.
taken care of. Just like, I'm gonna keep an eye on you. We'll see what's going on there. He just kind of screams, I need someone to protect me because I am a small baby deer. Baby deer is what she's getting right
Okay. So what does Cassandra look like?
So she is, all decked out in armor, but she's kind of relaxed right now. She has a very sullen look most of the time on her face. Her hair is down and a little bit kind of like scraggly, just because she doesn't focus on it at all Like she just mainly focuses on just like going day to day, focusing on a job.
Okay. The two of you are interacting. You
Gabe
guys
kind of
stare at each other for a while.
Gabe pulls out a seat near Spina, and because he's about 3.5 feet tall, he just pulls himself up and sits down and just scoots himself a little closer, like doot doot, little hops with the chair, just getting closer.
Okay.
And he looks up. Hi, hello, hi. Just waves at Spina.
You made it, my friend. How was your journey?
Oh, it good.
Good. Time says hello. She was sad to not wish you farewell.
Oh, I'm I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run out too quickly. It was just nerves? Nerves. No, bad. Tell her I said sorry.
I think you're good. I don't think you have to worry about that. But if I ever see her again, I will let her know.
Okay.
Are you hungry? Should we get you some food?
I ate something on road. Bread. I had bread.
Recently?
Yes. Sort of looks and checks if Yorkie still has the bread. Little pause, comes up, just holds out a crumb. Yeah, we had bread.
We have bread. Okay,
I have a
good.
question. Are we all sitting at the same table looking at this? Are we all at the same table?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm gonna look at Gabe. Like, you seem very confused.
Gabe kind of locks up, looks at Cassandra nervously, looks back at Safina,
I think we're all slightly confused in a way, aren't
kind of
we?
nods.
You should use your words. They're very good. Words help get your ideas across.
Lost cause, mercenary. Oh, but considering the gnome in question is standing next to you, placing an order for some soup, looks all the way up to you because even sitting, you're significantly taller than him. But I guess you're kind of the patron saint of lost causes, aren't you? Don't stare at me. Making me very
I will
uncomfortable.
I will stare at him.
Roll intimidation. First roll of the night!
Oh,
Like, how dare you?
It's like, I'm the patron saint of saintitude. 13. So you do you. Takes his old hand and just swats at you like you're friendly. You don't know him more than you are a merchant, so it's not like you're friends or anything.
Mm,
I kindly request that you don't touch me.
I will do that immediately.
I put my hand out to Gabe, like, my name is Cass.
Just instinctively just scoots back.
Let me help you. I will grab his arm and put his hand in my hand, like, what is your name?
And Yorkie just, you notice a brown and white rat just crawl off his sleeve and just on his head, kind of massaging his head.
I shall call you Deer. You kind of remind me of a baby deer.
his name is Gabriel.
Dope!
Gabe tries to pull his hand away. Please don't do that again.
I'm sorry, do you have a disease where people can't touch you?
Anxiety, mostly. No.
On
not
the word of
It's more a-
anxiety,
the
the
anxiety.
door opens wide, and an elf walks through. looking quite lost. Alara, you know what a tavern looks like in the outside world, and you found what looks to be a tavern. You have, traveled with Safina previously. However, your time in the town hasn't done a whole lot to grab your bearings, and the sun is setting very quickly.
Okay. I go in. I'm just like looking around, and I awkwardly sit at a table.
But which table?
Actually, no. I see Safina. And I walk over there, and I just awkwardly sit down next to him. I obviously I don't recognize the rest of the people. I'm just very kind of quiet. Just kind of looking at Safina, like, who are these people?
So, at this point, the gnome returns with 2 bowls of soup, looks at Cassandra, looks at Lara. Well, this got really awkward! Yes! So, bread boy, here's some soup. I promise you I did not poison it. And he pushes a bowl of the soup of the day over to Gabriel.
Do they?
Thank you. Just picks it up, drinks a little, holds up to his head so Yorkie can take a sip. Back drinking it. And he just keeps alternating between the two.
The gnome, the older gnome, looks straight ahead to Alara because Cass, who's sitting next to, terrifies him. This is normal. Just let it take its course.
Right. Okay. Do you normally greet people with promising it's not poisoned, though? Is that a thing?
Oh, no, just him. He is what one might call special. Gifted, perhaps. Gifted. He's gifted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let you see. Here. He just kind of like dust off his hands. He extends his hand. Hi, Mick Travers. Nice to meet you. I haven't seen you around before. Are you a traveler? You seem very familiar. Perhaps not.
I hate you right now. My name's Alara. It's nice to meet you, Meg.
Alara. It's a nice
Yes.
name.
Thanks. Yeah.
Don't worry if words fail you. They fail him all the time. And points over to Gabriel. And this one doesn't talk unless you're paying her, so that leaves, And then he looks over to Safina.
I'm sorry, what? I just get called a hooker.
I did not say that. I'm quite pretty sure I called you a mercenary. He takes his bowl of soup and just adds a little more to the corner.
I will take my sword out and just nicely plant it like into the ground right next to him and be like, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
As he continues to edge away. Oh, it's perfectly nothing that I'm talking about. I'm just saying that you are a very... He grabs the seat on the other side of the table and just moves over there. A very good businesswoman.
Ooh.
So, about this... tell me more about yourself, Alara. It's very nice hair that you have.
I mean, I guess I should. I'm sorry. And I go around and I just kind of like I reach my hand out to Cassandra. My name's Alara.
My name is Cass. I am not a hooker.
Noted.
I feel like it was me.
And then I kind of like slowly put my hand out to Gabriel.
He does not like to be touched.
Gritzel,
You broke him!
Scared him.
You straight
Scared
up
him away.
broke him! So he's like,
I just want to be friends.
Meg,
He just disappears.
Meg
just-
turns over to Laura. This is, again, quite normal.
Catatonic.
Yeah.
I think I broke him when I tried to shake his hand.
He doesn't do
Yeah,
well
he doesn't
with
really like
touching.
that.
He's a touch-free
Sorry.
individual.
Yeah,
I got called. Sorry.
I don't
the
know.
timing was wonderful.
It was.
Anywho, sorry. Gabe will reach his hand out and actually shake hers tentatively. Gritzel, Amadeus, Bartleby, Remy, Algendrick, Ilioff, Lebnut, but most people just call me Gabe.
Oh,
Hi.
that's quite the name. Hello. And who's that? What's his name? And I point to the rat.
Not a he, she. You can tell based on her ears. They're usually much smaller. Or are they smaller? No, their tails are usually longer than that of males since, sexual dimorphism is kind of a touchy subject among rats. Usually I can tell because I raised her myself. But anyway. Sorry. This is Yorkie.
Interesting.
You like
Uh,
animals. I killed an animal outside the other day. Do you want to look at it?
Gabe just scoots his chair over to Safina.
No, I think he's good.
Okay.
It's a good story. Though.
That's a good story. That's a good.
So you were able to find what you needed in the city of Lara? I saw you in our caravan, but I didn't get the opportunity. I apologize. I was a little distracted recently.
No, it's fine. I did, though. I think. I suppose. Have you guys been here before? Is this a new city to the rest of you, all, or is it just me?
Been here, but it was a while ago. It's pretty different. It's changed a lot.
I've been living here for a while.
Oh,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you looking for something here?
7,
no, not particularly. I just, I just came over to just see the sights, I guess you could say. Any
What
questions?
sites?
I believe we call them sightseers, mercenary.
Sure. Yes, that's. I guess you could consider it that. No. There's just some places that seems kind of interesting, though. I'm not really entirely sure where they are. So I'm just kind of here. I didn't really plan this much.
Like, you came to see sites that you don't really know where they are, but you're here.
Yes.
So you were wandering.
Yes.
I was a wanderer once. Wandered all about. There are some places that I've seen in my time, let me tell you.
Oh?
Yeah.
Please go, I'm listening.
I have seen things that you wouldn't believe. But my memory's not so good these days. Something about, I think I ate a burning bird. It was quite delicious. And a lake. I've seen a lake and a bird. Wow. My life is more disappointing than I thought. Okay. Well, I have half of a magic shop, which would mean something to you. And he points over to Cass. Do you ever had any money to spend on it? But that's okay. In time. He drinks his soup.
What's the name of your magic store?
Tinkerers and Travelers.
Is that the one that Safina's looking for? I don't know if I ever got the name.
No. What's Safina looking for a magic store for? I don't remember that.
You message me. Let me see.
Cass does not like Mig.
Nope.
Yes.
Gabe just takes the moment, has his hand up so Yorkie can get on it, has you down to the table, and he starts to make a minor illusion of a little ball that glows a faint blue, just rolls it in between him and Yorkie.
If you mean for your compass, though, Safina, the answer is yes.
Okay, so that is the store,
Yes.
but this guy isn't Mig.
It is Mig.
It is Mig.
This
He
is
introduced
Mig
himself
Travers.
as Mig Travers to Alara a moment ago.
Oh, I thought it was Mick Travers, like a Scottish.
like Mick Travers?
Yeah.
he just moves in. You gotta move like Mick Travers. You gotta move like Mick Travers.
Wait, are you Mig?
He all looks around a bit for a second. Yes? Wait.
Hi.
Wait. Who's asking?
No, I think.
I wish to reverse my statements before I know who you are.
So I'm sorry, my hearing isn't as good as it used to be. I was told you might be able to help me with an item of mine.
He kind of like just side eyes over to Cass, like, are we gonna get a joke out of this too? And like,
No, I'm
what
not
kind
that
of
funny.
what kind of item are we talking about exactly? Maybe?
He'll put the compass on the table.
Ah,
This kind of item.
yes, that definitely seems like something that tinkering would do well with. We can do something with what's wrong with it. And he kind of like reaches over, like, may I touch your compass here? Like from across the table, because he's like a little gnome and you're on the other side.
Oh, well, it used to point to things for me, but now it doesn't.
That's how compasses. Okay.
Broken, but it's obviously magical, and I don't know how to fix it.
Ah. So Mig looks over to Gabriel. Well, I certainly could take a look at it. I would have to charge a fee, of course, or some work, perhaps. Do you have money?
I'm a monk, so I don't have that much, but I am good if you need like labor done
Labor
to
done.
work for it.
Okay. I do have a few odd requests, but let's table that. And he hits the table. After a nice meal, seeing such colorful faces. And then you all go quiet, and he just...
Sabina,
Mm-hmm.
would I see the compass?
Sure, he'll slide it over to him.
He'll look at it, and then his hands just start as much faster than anything you've seen before of Gabriel's movements. His hands just start going over it, looking it over, turning it over, flipping to the side, looking at the broken pieces, and then looks at a little piece that seems a bit broken and puts it back in place. And then he takes out his homemade wand of magic detection and utters a little phrase, and the center of it starts to glow green, and he just waves it over the compass.
It is absolutely magical.
Magical. I'm guessing it's something sort. No, not evocation. That'd be too weird. Divination. Divination is good. Safina, what exactly did it point to? I have a few theories, but always better to ask. Puts the homemade wand away.
It always pointed towards what I desired most.
Oh, so divination with a bit of enchantment to see the person you wanted most. That's right. Odd.
It's
How did
odd.
you find it?
It was a gift.
Oh, hmm, sounds nice.
It was a very nice gift, yes.
They were so awkward.
I'm just like,
Do you think you know what's wrong with it?
Might have some correlation to a lot of things. It could be weather, extreme environments, I assume, since the brimstone's still on you. Gabriel just checks, cuts off his seat, looks at him, looks at his robes, taps a little bit. Huh, cleaned yourself up. That's good. Great. And he climbs back up into his seat. It might have been something to do when you're on your travels. It might have broken there. Extreme heat. That usually does it. But lead also might if you had lead transfuses. I don't think that worked, but
Do you say lead?
lead. Usually used for magical purposes of encapsulating or usually messing up magic. It's, a little bit on the safe side. Usually it's for divination. I need to look this up. And he takes out his big book and it lands it on the table.
He'll move the compass
With-
out of the way.
Few pieces of scrap. Looks like a notebook that has been torn up several times and pasted back together. And he opens up a few pages, looks through. Looks through again. Closes the book. Okay, I don't really have that many divination spells. I have no idea how to fix this. Yet.
Yet sounds good. Yes.
I don't know. No, seems pretty cool.
Oh, it's still
Divination.
impressive either way, I have to say.
Yes.
Meg nods his head repeatedly. Special. Gifted.
Gabe just looked at everyone staring at him, puts his book away, and just goes back playing with Yorkie, trying to stop everyone from staring at him. Just passes the little ball, and then she pushes it back.
Mig, you mentioned something about a lake. Is that is that around here?
Oh. He puts hand on his face and taps. Yeah, there is a lake not terribly far from here, maybe a few days out. Out in the wilderness. It's about northeast, more, I guess, east and north. It's very dangerous. Last time I was out there, a couple people didn't make it. But if you are new to this place, the wilderness is quite dangerous. I believe that not a hooker could tell you all about it, as she goes out there frequently.
Oh,
I can tell you about it. I apologize for Mig's
Accurate.
classification of me.
No hate.
Being
Gone into the wilderness before.
Me?
Yes.
No.
But you just got here?
Yeah. Well, I actually come from Elohim.
Everyone, when you say that, well, stops what they're doing.
I knew it. I'm just kidding.
But
It was
are
a
you?
joke.
But
was it very funny?
how do you protect yourself?
Well, I have this fancy dancy quarterstaff. And I do know some spell casting that has helped. But there's also a really good method that seems to have been working really well lately, which is me just running away. That has been very beneficial on this trip. Very much so. I am not prepared for this at all. I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
Don't worry, I will help you.
So,
Oh,
but-
like literally mama bear instincts. There you
Yes,
go.
like, don't worry, like, I will help. Like, the
So-
wilderness is scary.
the sites that you're trying to see that you don't know where they are they not in the city? Are you trying to venture out into the woods even though you run away from everything? And you've never been in the wilderness before, and that's where you're headed?
Correct.
Alone?
Correct.
You're not going alone.
You want some company?
It's not an option. I will join you.
I'm headed northeast.
I don't have coin for a mercenary.
I don't need to be paid. I don't want you to die.
I
You
don't
look like
want to
you might
die.
It's very charitable.
I mean,
Oh, she
Fight.
is.
I could fight. I just these are just I just happen to have run into things that I've never seen before, and they kind of took me by surprise. So I don't know.
I know your instinct is to run away. Unfortunately, in the wilderness, if you run away, you might be running towards something else.
Fantastic. I mean, that sounds.
Plus, they're very fast with gnashing teeth.
Oh my God.
I mean, if you guys, I mean, no, I don't want to burden anybody with my curiosities.
This isn't a burden.
I'm also heading
No
that
one-
way, and I'm
no
a monk,
one's
so I
life
do
is-
things for free.
I mean, if you'd like, I mean, I'm simply going just to go. I don't.
So
Like,
I'm gonna look at Alara after I can kind of sense her like nervous energy of not understanding why people are trying to join her. Put my hand on top of her hand, be like, "Your life is worth protecting.
Aww.
Let us join you."
Okay.
What do you think, Gabe? You up for a small adventure?
Well, I usually run from fights too. But
I'll be there.
Okay.
It'll be fun. I can teach you some stuff on the way, and you can look at my compass. It'll be a nice
Fun.
distraction.
Picks up Yorkie. Cuddles.
You want some ale, Gabe? I think we should get you some ale.
You seem
Oh,
you seem to shiver a lot. Do you want a coat? Would that help?
He looks at the cloak he's currently wearing and then back at you.
She would like a thicker coat.
Like a thicker coat.
No, I have a blanket. And he rummages through and pulls out the blanket that his grandmother had.
So, Alara, make a perception check.
Oh. Things and stuff. And other things.
It's pretty warm.
Perception. Why is
Means
this not
a lot
working?
to me.
To roll perception, one must first perceive your perception stats. Bam. Okay. It's a rather large symbol, but you recognize the religious symbol on that blanket as a circle with a C in it and a line straight down the middle. Something that you could not possibly not know.
There's so many knots.
And like quickly stands up out of her chair. Where did you get that?
None of your business.
Oh.
Puts-
He totally told you.
No, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I just wanted to see it. I swear I won't. Just please let me see it. I won't do anything. I promise. I realize I came off abruptly, but I recognize that symbol. I was just curious where you got it from.
D- 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 Tell me what it is first.
It's a symbol from a. And she's like, really just. It's a symbol of a god. That's Celestian, the Star Wanderer symbol.
Uh, I'm not really a religious guy. I've I've never heard of this Celestian Star Wanderer.
Uh, well, he is a thing.
Good.
This is
Enough
fantastic. This is the best soup companion conversation I've had in weeks.
Maybe not now. Look, I just wanted to. I promise I won't do anything.
Well, you seem to know what it is already. I don't know why you need the blankets still.
She like just sits back down in her chair, like super defeated.
Oh.
I just wanted to see. That's all. I hope you'll tell me at some point where you got it from, because I'd genuinely like to know.
Cass will look at Gabe like, Gabe, you just helped Safina with his compass, and he willingly allowed you to do that. How do you know that Alara can't help you with your blanket, or why would you deprive her of at least seeing something about it?
Gabe looks at Alara, looks at Cass. Because she can't fix things like I can. And she and he just starts to cry a little bit.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh dear. Okay. We can fix this.
I don't know if we can.
It's like, oh no, I've made the baby deer cry. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yorkie just crawls up on his shoulder and just starts nuzzling against his neck.
Can we maybe compromise and you hold it up again and she just looks at it?
Or do you want to wrap it around yourself and she can look at it while you are protecting yourself with it?
I promise I won't let her do anything.
He looks at Safina like a very broken child. And then he takes out the blanket and wraps it around his shoulders. And Yorkie just cuddles in, feeling warm.
I think now is your chance, Alara.
I
Like this.
scooch up next to him in the chair, and I get really close, and I'm like looking at it from like sitting next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of trying to read his body language, and like I will slowly put my hand out. I just want to touch the blanket. That's it. I just want to touch the blanket. That's it.
All right.
Like, you know, like when you go to pet like a stray dog, you're like,
Yeah.
Like, everything's fine.
like it's okay. I just just
Very nice fabric. I'd say like polyester or wool. Very comforting.
Oh.
You feel, when you touch it, you definitely feel like, oh, this would be very soothing to have on a nice cold night around you. And the embroidery is, if you put your hand over the symbol, very, very carefully put together. Done with great precision and love. The stitch work is very small. Like someone took their time with this.
Huh. Um, Gabriel, can I ask where you got this from? What's the story behind it? If you don't want to tell me now, it's fine. Or ever, I guess. You don't have to tell me at any point. You
It's fine, and
Is
that's
it,
all I'm going to
though?
say.
Okay. I hope at some point you could share more about it. But thank you for letting me see it. I appreciate it.
His teeth are chattering. He's shivering and he's just holding on to the blanket for dear life.
I think he needs another blanket. Hold on. Go into my bag and I'm gonna grab just like a raggy blanket that I have in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it over top of him, like, this may help. And I kind of like wrap him in it to make him feel kind of like a cocoon.
Okay. You add a blanket.
An
to
extra
Gabe.
blanket, like, you're still chattering. It's okay.
However, going off of Cassandra's previous description of, I kind of take care of myself. It definitely smells like it's been in the wilderness for about a week.
Yep. Oh no, it's not a good blanket at all.
Oh no. You probably like killed a deer in it and used to drag it through the woods. So I mean, it's definitely a blanket, and it's now soiling your special blanket.
Don't think
Gabe
cold.
lets go of the blanket and conjures a very small little pin and just carefully takes the blanket off, casts the blanket off, wraps it up, and puts a little pin on the edge of it and sort of bends it a little and hands it back shakily. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just goes back to wrapping himself up in his own blanket.
You did good, Gabe.
He's a lot like a little baby bunny.
I miss this so much.
It looks like he's about to fall asleep, and Yorkie is just like trying to push his chin, like while she's like she's on his collarbone, just trying to push him up to help him stay awake.
I apologize. I should have maybe mentioned. I am a follower of Celestian the Star Wanderer. Like, I guess you could say that's kind of why I'm here.
So, see, does anyone have proficiency in perception or insight?
I have insight and perception.
Ooh, does anyone else?
I have insight, not perception.
Okay. So one of you can roll a lead test. So skill checks table are one of you will generally pick who rolls, and if you have proficiency or a special feat, you can assist, so they can roll with advantage. So who would like to roll either perception or insight?
I'll just assist. I think, Safina, you might have better stats than I do.
Okay, it's a 5.
Yeah.
I'm also like 2 levels higher than you.
Yep. I'll just assist you.
I think that's a whole of one higher in the roll, but
yeah,
there we go.
right, yeah. It's really good.
So you have it on perception, right?
Or I have it just on insight. So, but you
insight.
roll.
Okay, I'll do insight then. Just got them backwards.
Difference between 9 and 19.
Yep.
All right, so that means that Safina, when Alara starts to talk and mentions her about Celestian and the Far Wanderer, you notice that one, that's surprising because you haven't heard that before. It's a very obscure deity in the grand scheme of things. But between the motions, and I'm guessing Cass has synced up with you a little bit, as the two of you notice that Mig stops eating soup when that is mentioned. Just kind of looks over at Alara. And then Alara continues talking about Celestian.
Does he look deadpan or suspicious or okay like that?
Yeah.
So not entirely friendly.
Kind of like when she said she was from Elohim. It was gave pause.
So 2 strikes kind of thing.
Yeah.
2 strikes.
And then Alara was burned at the stake on session 1. To the stars with you, Alara. All right, so you're talking about Celestian, explaining your grand journey.
Yeah, no, so I'm just trying to find out more things. Just to kind of check out places on this side of the mountains, and yeah.
Any certain landmarks that we can maybe ask about? There might be a ranger nearby or something.
Well, that's kind of why I asked about the lake. I have a book that talks about a lake, but there's not a whole lot of context of it other than something to do with not being able to see your reflection and stuff like that. It seemed very just an abnormal place. So,
does any of that sound familiar, Meg? In your travels?
I'm an old gnome. It's just immediately insight that.
Yeah. You are too young to say you're old.
That's true. So he's obviously playing that down. An old gnome. But I have seen lakes. The Alara, right? Alara. A book. I like books. We're all about sharing personal items here. Can I see that book?
and I kind of just looking around the table.
I mean, Cassandra has shown her sword to the ground, a compass, and a blanket. I think you're up.
But we're showing these to people that aren't insulting everyone else.
I have not insulted Alara at all. You just terrify the shit out of me.
Good.
So, okay, so if you don't know anything about the lake, then I don't understand necessarily why you need to see the book if you don't know anything about the lake.
Because there are lots of bodies of water out there. I don't know if it's the same lake.
Yeah, but if you can't see your reflection in it, I feel like that would stand out.
Okay, so I've seen 2 lakes like that then. One of which was in hell. So, do you want to go to hell?
There are a couple planes of existence, and that's not one I would like to travel to again. So, I'm good.
Oh.
Well then, Mig, what do you know about Celestian?
That he is a deity? Is the Far Wanderer? He has a lot of connection to stars?
And their followers?
Why am I being asked so many questions? I just want to see her book. If you don't want to show it, that's fine. You can see he's getting irritated.
It's fine. I panic because he's getting mad, and I'm just then I hand it to him.
Okay, Mig takes it. Where'd you get this, anyway? Just opens it up, starts looking through it, like a gnome.
You're suddenly very talkative.
Well, when I'm not being attacked, I love a good conversation.
I found it.
What? May I ask where you found it?
Nope. No, I mean,
Like, no.
Nope, that sounds about par of the point. So my best friend here is the broken other gnome. No, not about racism at all here today.
I just I found it. That's true.
He stops on an entry and he points to it. Yes, I can definitely say this lake, of the 2 lakes, or 3 lakes. Anyway, that lake isn't too far from here. And hands the book back. You're looking for Starset Lake.
That's the name.
Yes,
do you
that's
know?
that's the name.
How do you? Okay.
You'll have to forgive me, but I'll if you'd like to stop by my shop later, I will gladly tell you about it. Unfortunately, the table's a touch hostile.
She's like so confused. Did I say something?
Oh no, you sweet summer child, you're fine. I fear if I start answering questions, I'm gonna be asked where I ate dinner a year ago, and I still would like to enjoy my soup.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for telling me. Starset. Okay.
Lake.
Star.
Starset's one word, by the way, not separate.
Okay.
Out of character, have I heard of that at all before?
Yes. You have heard about it, you have not visited it. And
Okay.
it definitely is described as a lake where you cannot see your reflection, and you can clearly see the stars past the aurora.
Gotcha. I have not visited there myself, but I have heard it is beautiful.
Do you know how to get there?
I've
Never
been,
been.
unfortunately, no.
I mean, look, I really don't want to bother you all. I'm sure you guys have a ton of other
I'm
things that
gonna
you
put
have.
my hand back on her hand, be like, please stop trying to make us not follow you.
I don't know, it might be safer not to do that. Might mug her in the wilderness. It's true. It happens. Brigands! Highwaymen! Although, if I'm being completely honest, everyone that Cassandra has gone out with has returned. Well, attempted to return. Actually, you know what? I'm not entirely sure. Are you a brigand?
I don't like to fight people in taverns, but I may have to start, Mig.
Come at me, lady! Little wiry, like, bony little hands.
Would you really like that?
No, I would not. I would like a nice conversation, some company with my now catatonic friend, as I gave him a bowl of soup after a nice, long, laborious way of ethically paying off his debts. But as you can see, he is now a vegetable, much like the carrot in his soup.
Have you ever considered that having a nice conversation means that you need to stop insinuating that people at the table either steal or kill people?
Our interactions today involved you threatening me, so maybe? Would you like to apologize first? Would you like to kiss and make up?
Want me to apologize for threatening you after you insulted me?
Wasn't it insult? That was an interpretation.
It's honestly not too bad to be a hooker. They're actually very nice.
It's an upstanding profession that you do not do. And if you did, I would not judge you for it. Soup.
Interesting dinner table I've ever sat at, I have to say.
I would have to agree.
To be honest, I quite enjoy it. I think
It's nothing like home.
this is very fun.
So,
Sorry, Cassie's just very upset. She's like, I don't want to acknowledge this. So she's actually going to put her whole back to him. Be like, you just don't exist anymore in this conversation.
It's not a healthy way to address your problems.
I don't want to add you to the problems I already have. I'd rather just make you not present.
What problems do you have exactly? You're a wanderer. You come down this town every few weeks looking for work. You don't have any money.
I don't know. When I deal with stress, I usually meditate. Maybe we could do that later. Be beneficial for everyone.
I don't like to be alone with my thoughts.
We could train. Training's good too. Though I think we might have different fighting styles.
They spar as Safina gets stabbed.
I thank you for the opportunity or the suggestion of training. Unfortunately, the person who trained me is no longer here. And training just reminds me of him.
Oh, okay. We don't have to do that then.
I don't know if maybe one day I'll be able to train without thinking of Troy.
Sounds good.
So because of the back to Meg, you won't get to roll. But
yeah, I remember trying when I get to roll. She's like, just don't exist in this conversation. I'll be fine.
Perception check or insight from Safina.
Without the assist. Yeah.
Without the assist. You wouldn't be, well, without the assist from Cassandra.
From herself. Well, we've done insight, so let's try perception.
Okay.
Oh, well then.
No.
So you don't
20.
need the assist at all because you nat 20 on your first roll. Yeah, so it's much more subtle than the Celestian thing, but the mention of Troy, you see like Mig trying to think if he remembers that name, like, and then his eyes just dart back, very slight motion.
Who is Troy? Though I assume that's a loaded question. We can come back to that later.
You just kind of see me looking off, and there's just a little bit of like her eyes watering. Like, he was a great man who trusted the wrong people.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
That's what I'm like. Regardless, he's not here with us anymore.
I'm sorry for your loss.
He just brings over a piece of tissue and just lays it down in front of you at the table before scurrying back to my side.
Thank you.
Mig opens his mouth and then shuts it before saying anything.
Who, Meg?
Yes. Like he was gonna say something and I was like, maybe I shouldn't sass her.
I know I seem very brash, but I couldn't protect him, so having someone say that I'm going to hurt people when I'm trying to help them brings out a bad side of me.
fighting battles that we don't know exactly how things are going to go. I suppose. Try and do right by the person that we are no longer with. Try and make them proud.
I do. And Alara, when people offer you help, please take it.
Yes. I'll try to do that in the future.
I would not like it if you were out there without anyone to protect you and something were to happen.
Yes, but you're right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And it
I-
seems like we're all heading in that direction. So we wouldn't be a burden on any one of us.
True. I guess kind of. I would just feel bad if something would happen to you all as well. But I mean, if you're all going in that direction anyway, then I would love the company.
Well, I'm sold. Like I said, I'm heading in that direction.
Okay.
What about you, Gabriel? You've been quiet.
Gabriel's just stacking the cups that are on the table, into medium-sized towers.
That's
So it looks like
a
a little fortress, a wall of cups around him.
that's quite a nice tower you have there, Gabriel.
Huh? Oh,
Points the tower.
oh,
Don't let it topple.
I do that out of habit. I don't like seeing things out of order. Small things. Okay.
Yes.
As a tinker, you should be able to appreciate that, right, Meg?
I do appreciate that. Just don't want to see it fall over and have like glass everywhere. Then people will start calling it the Tower of Doom.
I'll go. I have anything else to do except help Sabina.
It'll be a good old adventure.
Kind of has Yorkie holds it up. Adventure.
That's the right
Yay.
attitude.
So Mig looks over to Safina. Just what?
Who? Meg?
Mig does. And is like, not really like nonplussed, like more like a customer. Like, so you guys are gonna go out. I'm kind of confused at the moment. You guys are gonna go out to the wilderness to look for the lake?
Sure.
Just
Sounds
on a
nice.
whim?
Well,
This is interesting. Okay. He finishes his soup and he pushes the bowl forward to the center. I hit the spot.
You've
I'm
never
looking
wanted to
for
go.
someone, but that's the right direction that I heard that she was going in last. So
Who?
that's my master from the monastery.
So Mig takes a moment to appraise your garb. Do you have anything on you from the order?
Well, I was thinking that because he was on the ship for so long and then he went through hell, so I assume he has change of clothes.
Right.
In the text RP, he was wearing the monk clothing, and of course he has the scarf.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess yes, he would be wearing. It would be comfortable travel clothes. So
It would.
he can have them on.
Okay. Good old Agma guy. So Mig looks over Safina as he mentions the order. He doesn't seem like he places it. Okay. Don't.
Why, have you seen people like me passing through?
I mean, there are travelers that are passing through all the time, but I can't quite place your order, so I can't answer that. Now, if you want to get specific, like I've seen many people come by with many different clothing that have many different destinations to go about. That some want to go into the woods, and some of them do not.
She's part of the Order of the Sun,
Oh,
if that helps.
it does. Yes. The order generally comes through here frequently.
Mm-hmm.
The
Coming from Seoul.
Yeah, from Seoul. That's correct. Yes, there was at least a small group, very notable. They went out to the woods northeast. They didn't quite say where they were going.
How many people were there?
5.
And no one seems to know why.
They didn't talk about it. They weren't very talkative and very defensive about their reasons why.
All right. Thank you.
Could you lift up your sword, please?
Sure. So
Gabe hops down out of his chair, sees where her sword kind of pierced the floor, takes out 2 lodestones, rubs them together, and they start to hum. Places them near the crack, and he'll cast Mending as it closes up the marking on the floor. He'll just put them away and go back into his chair. Zoop. Zoop. Yep. That'll do.
I will put my sword back my back and turn around to Meg like, it doesn't take very long for me to take that back out. Just remember that. And then I'll turn my back to him.
So when Cass threatens Mig again, he pushes himself out from the table. He's like, well, that's my cue. He hops down from his chair. Heads on out.
Hi, Meg.
Bye, Gabe. Take care of yourself out there.
I'll try. So, where are we going first? Do we need anything before we leave?
Is everybody good on supplies, food, water, ale?
Well, you guys just came from the road. What do you have on you?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Okay.
I have I forgot some sacks, rations, blankets, food, clothing, knapsacks, map, Yorkie,
Gives a little squeak.
blanket, and I have a knife.
So as he's talking, Cass is looking around at everyone and assessing their level of squishiness to figure out how defenseless they are. Like, look here, let's see.
I definitely want to know how squishy you think Safina is.
Yeah, me too.
How squishy. Well, yeah, because Sabina doesn't have like any really weapons, right? He mainly fights with his fists.
He has his ninjato. I don't know why I said that with a British accent. Some darts and one sai.
What does he wear? Like, what is his clothing?
He currently has his Order of the Sun robes on, and a very would the scarf have gotten charred in hell, or would have been like oddly pristine looking?
How you'd like, buddy? It's your story.
What?
It's your story. You tell me. How would you like it to be?
Let's say it did get a little dirty, but it's like significantly cleaner than the rest of his clothes. And I think that's the only thing on his person. Oh, and he has a ring on his right hand.
Okay, so he's wearing robes, a scarf, and a
Robes.
ring.
Yes.
Okay. So something pretty squishy. Certainly, she's like, you have cloth to stop sharp, pointy things from getting to you.
Mhm.
Okay. And then what about Gabe? You're muted, sir.
He has his spell book, a small knife, his blanket, his cloak, oversized clothes, and an explorer's pack on his back.
Okay. And then Alara, I know that you fight with magic mostly.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
How are you dressed, like defensive wise?
Well, I have robes, but underneath I have chainmail.
Okay. That's promising.
Hmm. Yes.
And what do you look like?
Hmm?
What are you wearing?
A full set of armor.
Okay.
Like a full, yeah, just like full
Yeah.
on set of armor. It's like, this is okay. Okay. You guys keep going. She's just observing, planning in her head.
I can fight. I should say that. It seemed at the time a better thing to do to run away than like fight something when it's 20 times bigger than you and there's like lots of them.
Well, yes, sometimes the right choice is to run away.
But I can fight. I do know my way around most simple weapons that people use.
But you use magic.
And magic, yeah. Mostly. I have healing capabilities.
That is good.
Yeah. And some other things, but
Do you usually fight up close or far away?
I could do either. I think I would prefer farther away.
Okay.
If somebody gets hurt, I think it'd be better for me to be not hurt, so I can help. So I can help the other everybody else. Yeah.
Okay.
Good
And
one.
what about you, Gabe? How do you protect yourself?
I can shoot fire, and I can turn invisible. I can distort myself temporarily, conjure myself, kind of, but it has a misty effect. I can throw knives, and I have my own armor that's kind of invisible. Also, I can throw ice, and
So you do have armor.
yeah,
Good.
kinda.
Do they go underneath your robes?
No, it's not. It's not visible. It's
Invisible.
And he will take out a piece of curd leather and twist a little bit and cast mage armor on himself. And it will take the form of a slightly shimmering visage, sort of like is sort of like Blur, but without the darkness, and it just seems like there's this object or piece of invisible force that's there now, sort of reflective, but it's invisible.
Cass is going to reach out to try to touch it just to see what it feels like. He's be like,
Same thing.
Get a bit of resistance.
good. This will protect you.
Huh. Interesting.
And what about you, Safina? You don't seem to have much. Do you also cast magic?
No, some people in my order do. I don't. I mostly just work with my chi. More of
You
a chi
don't-
guy.
You don't have much armor on you. How do you stop yourself from being stabbed?
I found when I use armor, it actually hinders me quite a lot. I use a lot of movement, and my reflexes are pretty quick.
I throw an apple at him.
It's like, hold on, let's test this theory. Oh,
Are you gonna roll for that? Because I could try and catch it. I don't know.
It's like-
It's arrow catching, yeah. It's the same thing, yeah.
An apple was thrown.
Apple was indeed thrown.
So sans throwing actual dice, you'd be able to catch it, Safina.
Yeah, the deflect missiles thing is kind of absurdly good.
Yeah, you could actually throw it right back at her.
It's like, ah!
That's how it works.
I'll catch it and then I'll bite into it and I'll say thank you.
I just really want you to throw it back at her and you get hit her in the head or something. Be like, oh my
He
God.
catches it, eats it in a spin, and then throws it back with a piece missing.
Reflexes, I'm sorry.
Well, that happened. Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like, it's like, well then, sir.
Oh, I can also do a thing that might help if we're in a quiet situation, kind of. And Gabe will tap Yorkie's head 5 times, and then she'll go into his component pouch, pull out a copper wire, and he'll tie it around his finger, and he'll whisper, "This is probably a good idea for stealth." And Cass will hear that in her head.
Oh, what did you do?
What did you do?
He tied a string of copper around his finger, and cast message.
Oh, and then talked. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
So it's just like, what? Hold on. There's no... Oh. That would be very helpful.
What would be?
Does it again. I can do this. And Alara will hear it in her head. I can do this a lot. It's pretty easy.
Wow.
You're just talking to pizza like, hold on.
Can you hear me in your brain when I reply?
People don't really reply. Oh, I never really tested that out.
Oh.
That just got real depressing.
Wow.
Like,
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
well, then.
But I'm pretty sure you can. I'll try it with Safina. Safina here. I cast message again. Safina hears. I think this is going to be a good time.
Okay. And I will think back.
It's like, hold on.
This should be very interesting.
I heard it.
Hot damn.
Yay! It works. It works. It.
So now you know just how shocking and creepy it is when you aren't expecting it.
You. Wait a minute. And Gabe will get up, and he's in detective mode right now. Detective Gabriel. He walks over to Alara, and he looks at her. You said you were a cleric, right? A follower of Celestian?
Yes.
His eyes light up. The big brown hazel eyes just light up. It's like, can I see your hand? Please?
Okay.
So many concerning things happening.
You'll feel her hand.
So, you channel divine energy, right? Does it is it a hot feeling, is it a cold feeling, or is it neutral? I heard that some divine people can channel light, but I've never really seen it. I've only seen war people like Tyr, Torm. I think there are names, or is it Tyr, Tord? Tiered, Tord. I mix up names sometimes. But anyway, how do you do that? Is it a direct link with your god? Is it something similar? Have you seen him before? I'm pretty sure most people haven't, because that would pretty much ruin your entire religion. But even then, the energy you put out must be really extraordinary. Then he'll just try to bend your fingers.
And I'm like looking at Cass and Safina like, is this normal? Like, I just, I guess you could, my faith in it draws it out. Believing in something.
That's an interesting focus.
To channel it. I'm. Why are you so interested in?
I'm interested in all magic. It comes from the same place, essentially, though with berries. Sort of like, and he'll take out his book, flip through it, and you'll see like this web that has a central magic that just has magic in a circle. Then it spreads out to divine, elemental, arcane. It's sort of like a family. They all come from the same place, but then they divulge in different subsections, where you have the gods, the fiends, the demons, and this one weird thing that I don't know of. But I know it exists. Just haven't seen it.
I mean, to be honest, if I understood any of this, I would gladly tell you more. But I don't. So.
That's okay. He closes the book. I'll just watch and take notes.
I'll
Arcane is pretty much an understood for me, but it's the divine that I don't really have a grasp on. Specifically, now that you said focus, focus is a very unusual one, since it's not tangible like an arcane focus or the component pouch, but you using your own faith for it is actually very interesting, seeing as how it's, well, not something tangible. Usually you require something tangible, and then it just keeps going on and on.
Cass will look at Gabe and be like, do you mean glowing like this? And as I pick out my sword, I do channel divinity, and you see it glow with a white light. Like, are you looking for something like this?
He'll scurry.
Cast, check your feet.
Oh, what now? The who what?
You just cast the light cantrip, right?
No, actually, I just did the channel divinity sacred weapon.
Okay.
Gabe will run over the table and like try to reach up for the sword.
That is like,
Please.
I'll hand that. And then I'll also do the light cantrip too, like, or this, and then I'll just like make his blanket glow. It's like, is it? Which one are you looking for?
It's similar to Alara, similar to clerics. Are you a paladin?
Yes.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Channel divinity through your own oath, but instead of the focus where it is your faith, it is your conviction in your own words, which makes sense, seeing as power can become relative in other places, and then it works. It's very cool. Sorry.
And he'll try to hand it back because the sword's, he's not
It's
really
gonna be real heavy for him.
So cute. I can't.
Sorry. You know,
I'll help. I'll like take it. Like, it's all right. I got it.
but
We're back.
that's very interesting. There's actually pretty combinations for that. Perhaps someone with both conviction and focus could do that.
And then I'll touch his blanket and turn the light off. Be like, just stop that glowing real quick.
Huh. How strange. I didn't think that paladins had the same focus as arcane. But that makes sense. It's all relative. But if they're all relative, that means they come from different kings. It means the cantrips and the spells all come from the different slots, but they're only activated by different things. How interesting. Thank you.
And he'll just scurry back to his seat.
Yeah.
a lot to think about.
He's quite adorable.
He grows
Stan.
on you very quickly.
Hey, my okay. I think I even learned a little bit in that long sentence.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, Alara, when were you thinking on setting out to this lake?
Oh, I don't really have a plan about anything. I'm just kind of going whenever. I mean, if everybody else is gonna be joining me, then it's really what everybody else thinks. Honestly, I have no commitment on a time or anything.
Does anyone else?
I'm ready.
Adventure time.
Sorry, Dave, what time is it? Is it like nighttime or?
Sun is set. Like it's go past
Okay.
sunset. Dusk.
It's like we should at least wait until tomorrow.
Yeah,
It
maybe
is
at dawn. At
not
dawn.
wise to go out at night. Even if you
Okay.
have all these light sources.
Okay. Hey, Safina. Where
Yes.
are we all gonna sleep?
I believe this place has some rooms. I will, per usual, work for my bed, but
Right. Dave, I am living there right now, right? Or am I just like staying at inns?
You're staying at inns.
Staying okay. So if I had a place, be like, come into my place, sleep on my floor. The best floor.
Yep, you're like a hedge knight. Travel.
Gotcha.
did we want to use this locale as our base of operations?
Am I aware? Well, I know very well. Where is, because we're all very low on cash, where is the least expensive place to sleep?
Let me help you. Where's the only place to sleep? You're in.
Where's the only place to sleep?
Build up. The build up.
No,
Is
the
it
answer
here?
was you're in it.
Oh, here. Okay.
Makes sense.
It's like, yes, this is the only inn in town. I already have a room myself.
You're in the equivalent of the Prancing Pony. Welcome to the
Ah.
only inn in your in this little village.
I'm sure they should have some
Oh.
open rooms available.
Okay. How much is it?
How much is it right now? How much am I paying?
You're paying what is it? A silver a night.
It's 1 silver piece a night.
Too much for him. He walks away.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just needs to go to the little gnome's room.
Has there been like a server or anything? Because Mig kind of got everything for us.
He went to the counter to get his stuff.
Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have any silver. I've only got gold.
Correction, since you worked after debt, you have nothing, buddy.
Oh, wait, Yorkie, how much money do I have?
Comes out of my pocket, goes on the table, makes an O with her paws.
Oh, I don't have anything.
You can sleep in my room if you need to.
Okay.
Not in a creepy way. Like if you need somewhere to stay.
Any money, unless I take coin from my city, which judging my husband yelling. Did you hear that?
Yes.
I'm gonna go yell at him. Remind me.
Tell him thanks for the follow. Out of character digression.
So
Playing Fortnite.
Oh, fair enough.
So, Spina, are you okay with me sleeping with you too?
No, that's fine. I have to talk to the barkeep to see if I can work for my bed. Usually people don't have a problem with that, but always safe to check.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, Alara, you want to play tag?
Tag?
Yeah, tag. It'll get up, obviously, and it's where you touch someone, and then you say tag, and then you run away. So then that person tries to catch you and make you it, and then it's back and forth. And the winner, if you stop at 10 points. It's a point every time you touch someone.
Stanley's watched like cleaning a glass, shaking his head.
I think that might not be. If you want to take it outside, I'm sure.
Okay. Did you still want to play it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because like, I will play.
Really?
Yes.
We'll just go outside. Oh, wait, I forgot. He'll pause the door. Go back. Tag. And go back right outside.
Normally I'd be bad at this, but I don't think he can go very fast. And I will follow him out with all my armor, be like, okay.
Okay.
And when you do, you see him.
But we're doing it different. It's tag
And I cast invisibility.
with magic.
This feels like cheating. This is not at all what I came here to do. Well done.
Then on your armor, you see Yorkie just on your shoulder, just pokes your cheek with her paw, and then points in a direction.
Thank you. And I will follow where he is pointed.
Gabe just squatting in a bush. Just like,
Invisible.
Roll perception.
Oh no, she's just gonna run forward and just be like, I will probably just run into him. This is probably about how this is gonna go. And then so, because she can't really hear too well with her armor chinking against itself as she's moving forward, she's like, well, he's pointing, like she's looking at his little finger wherever he's pointing, until eventually her body is going to run into him.
Ow!
Tag. And then I will turn around.
Darn it!
So back in the tavern, what is Alara and Safina doing? As the two just effectively up and leave.
Safina would go to Stanley and, well, hello, Stanley. I'm a monk with the Order of the Sun. Sorry, totally blank. And I was hoping to stay in this establishment. However, I don't have much in ways of coin. Is there any way in which I could work for my stay?
Mm-hmm. As we are in a society that does a lot of barter, Stanley looks to you and said, yeah, the broom, the mop, this room, the back room, check the weeds outside. That's about a silver's worth for a good day's work. Order's always been good for keeping the order around here, so.
We do what we can.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there was actually a group that came through town a little while ago. Did they stay here?
They did not. They weren't here for very long before they went out.
So you did see them?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's hard to miss. You know, Solsari and a routine going out into the woods.
Do you know where they're heading?
No, they didn't talk about it. Wasn't about to ask.
The gentleman that was with us, he said that they passed through, but they were being more secretive than usual. It's not like Solsara to do that.
Mm-hmm. It is very odd. They didn't really use the roads so much as the back streets on the outskirts near the woods.
Oh. Very, very abnormal to be so secretive. Well, thank you. and Savina will start cleaning around with the broom and mop.
Okay. You start doing errands, which will occupy your evening. It's more of a time-consuming activity than anything else. Which leaves Alara left alone at the table with no food and company.
I say yeah.
So like no one had money, correct, to pay for their.
I have coin from my city.
But that's like having
Nothing.
yen in
I could
America.
lend you.
No. I just picture you like mopping. Like I can lend you some money. I'm like I can. I mean, I can help you. I did some tavern work in Seoul.
How many silver pieces is one gold piece worth?
It's 10 silver to a gold.
Okay.
You're thinking, not silver, like bronze. There's one in the middle.
Electrum.
Electrum. Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
So
Yeah, it doesn't exist in my world. It's just the most annoying currency ever.
So before I go to play tag with Gabe, I will put down one gold piece. Like,
So do you come back and put the gold in? No, this is no retcon, just canon.
yeah, and while I think that Gabe is chasing me, I'll come in, realizing that none of them have a way of like sleeping somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll put it on the table and be like, I would hate for you to not have a bed to sleep in, and I'll go back out. Like, what do I do? And shit.
I'm like just holding like a random.
So that means you don't have to work anymore if you don't want to, Alara. You can go relax. Maybe
No,
take
no.
a nap.
No, let me, I can at least help you and get done whatever faster. I like start cleaning, picking up the plates and cups from the table that we were at.
Waitress Alara.
It's like you guys can do whatever you want, but in theory, that would make it so that Safina wouldn't have to work either.
Oh, Savina would insist on not being paid for.
Yeah, so that's
So who's winning tag?
Mm-hmm. So that's the very interesting thing happening in the tavern. They're cleaning it. So what's happening outside?
Gabe is still invisible. And he managed to. He sneaks up behind Cass. Tag! He runs away. He pokes her heel, essentially.
she'll flip around like with her arm out and try to hit him first, like no, and try to, like tag. How fast is he?
25 feet. Little gnomish feet.
That's not harmless though. So she'll like Jet Smith be like, okay, turn around, just start going, running. She realized last time that she ran into him and that might not have been the nicest thing. She's like, gentler. Put her hands out to try to soften the blow. Like, okay.
Gabe is just invisibly sneaking about her, like, dude.
She's listening more to it. She's like, running is not good. He is invisible. Okay. She'll keep.
Gabe. Then I'll cast Minor Illusion to make it sound like I said, hey. Like, far away. Like, hey!
As a question, detect magic. Will that tell me if there's someone invisible around me?
Oh.
Like an infrared.
Because it's technically magic being cast.
It will allow you to detect the area of magic. Yeah, that there is something over there that is invisible. Specifically,
Okay.
I think illusion magic. So yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do some.
This is fun.
So after I do that, and I can kind of tell the general area, be like, oh no, I don't know where Gabe could be. Oh, I think he might have finally won this one. As I attempt my horrible job of sneaking, because there's no way I can sneak.
All deception.
Gabe is behind a bush or a tree right about now.
Good.
He's just peeking out from time to time.
And I'll just kind of walk over, look at her like, I don't know where Gabe could be. Standing in front of the tree, putting my back there. Like, oh, I wonder, he must have just gone away. And then I'll run as fast as I can to the back of the tree and then like smack my hand behind so I'll just hit and be like, tag. And then I'll run away. Just,
Oh,
And with that, the invisibility drops.
dang it.
Oh, kicks up a few pieces of dirt and just skulks back. Looks up at Yorkie.
You cheated.
You also cheated.
I did not. I said we were going to use magic. It's not cheating
You
if I tell
said
you
that it's cheating if you say we're going to use magic after you use magic.
But I didn't. I said, and here's a surprise, and then I cast. You cheated. It's not fair.
Then he'll sigh. Just hold his hands out for Yorkie, and then she'll jump into his arms, just crawl and just go on his head. And he'll pause for a bit.
Was Troy your husband?
Not yet.
Oh, I lost my grand. Well, I kind of understand.
I'm sorry. How long ago was that?
A few months, no, years. Few years.
Were you close?
She was the only one who took care of me. And she.
He'll just go and kneel his head against her leg. Just
She
a
made
little
that
bit too-
blanket.
It was hers.
I'm sure she'd be very proud of you now. And I'll put my arm around him. Try to comfort him.
He nods his head and seems a little bit more at ease.
It
Feels
looks like
as if
it's.
someone actually cares again.
Oh, it looks like it's getting a little bit late. We should get you back inside, okay?
Okay.
That was a fun game of tag.
Jack. I'm sorry I cheated.
It's all right. It was fun. Let's go inside.
Okay.
Goes inside, looking a little bit happier. He's got a little smile, a little dirt in his hair.
As the tavern is being cleaned,
Just like, very exciting cleaning of the tavern. But wait, there's Mop.
No, I do. I finished cleaning up, picking up the whatever was on the cups and stuff on the table that we're at. But I go over to that other table where this character is.
yeah, there's a. So while you're cleaning, there are a few things that are happening, Alara. Go ahead and roll insight.
Oh shit.
Do you want assistance?
You're cleaning as well.
You have to clean the place. You have a job now.
I do.
Wait, you said?
Huh?
Insight?
Yeah, insight. Okay. You clean.
I do go over to that table and I ask, is there anything I can take off your table for you?
The person there, who looks at least somewhat elvish in nature, looks at you. No, I'm fine for now. Thank you. You seem like he's being very, very friendly.
Okay. Well, okay.
So, and he has like he's got an empty glass on his table. Like there's no, like he was previously at the bar and brought over his mug o ale, but it's empty now. He's okay.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. I'm really getting such weird vibes.
Yep,
just-
but you're like, it must be a bad insight roll. Everything seems fine. Just weird
This is fine.
patrons.
This is
Okay. And I just carry the whatever plates I have and stuff to Stanley at the bar.
Yep, he takes it. Takes it from you, puts it in the place to be washed, which will be a fun chore for you later. Wash dishes.
you guys get all the fun jobs.
Absolutely.
D&D is great, you guys.
Don't want to do chores at home, just do it at D&D.
Absolutely. So I was thinking about life's rough. It's been a difficult week. I'm gonna go to Fantasy World and clean up the tavern.
Someone's got to.
Someone has to do it. It's not gonna clean itself.
Listen, there's a reason in my head for this, okay? I know it sounds stupid, but...
It's not dumb. You're paying your way downtown. The other person that's there that you'd run across looks like a cat person.
His name Tip of Water.
Do you ask him?
I mean, I was just summoned by Safina. So not yet. I don't know. Safina waved
Okay.
over to me.
Well,
I mean, I would have gone to his table,
okay.
too, see if there's any...
There is absolutely a glass of wine which is half finished there. Red wine.
Would you like me to get you some more, or take your glass from you?
Oh, darling, absolutely. Please top me off. You're such a dear.
Okay, you can tell Alara this is not something she knows how to do.
No, she's like, I've never waitressed
No.
before. This is like I'm moonlighting. Moonlighting as a waitress.
Like, okay. And I take the glass and I go back to Stanley, and they want this to be filled with more wine.
Stanley's just cleaning. They have to pay.
Oh, okay, and I go back. You'll have to pay.
Oh,
Sorry.
darling, I don't take money. Cover this one for me, would you?
I do not have any. Nope.
Oh, but I'm sure that he'll just let you clean a little bit more. He's taking a shining to you, I can tell.
Well, see, I don't want to clean.
Oh, that's
Any more than
very
I
nice.
have-
I'll be here waiting.
I'm pretty sure this doesn't work like that. You have to pay for your glass.
Since I'm so close to the cat and Alara, I walk over and be like, do I recognize him at all? Like, has he been in town
No.
for a while? Okay,
You recognize his race, and that's about it. He is a tabaxi.
gotcha. Like, she is working. Why would she pay for your food?
She offered, dear.
She offered to refill the glass for you, but you'd have to pay for that.
Ugh. Such terrible service! And Stanley is just now looking at Alara and Cass. Like,
Like,
I just asked them to. Okay, I just asked
Cass,
them.
stop scaring off all of my customers.
he did not want to pay for his drink. Would you have
Then
liked
he
him to stay?
Doesn't. So when you start sassing Stanley, Stanley looks dead-eyed at Cass. Hey, Cass. I don't think your money's any good here tonight.
All right. And I will turn around and I'll leave.
Wait, were you going to stay?
I'll figure it out.
I mean, surely this is a little. I mean, we need a place to stay. Stan. She didn't do. It was me. I'm sorry. If give her a place to stay. I'll take the beef for it or whatever.
She'll walk it off.
Are you gonna give her a place to stay?
We'll see.
We'll
Maybe if she
see.
stops being so abrasive to every person who's coming in here.
I mean, forgive me, but you also seem a little abrasive.
Fina's gonna walk over and kind of like escort her.
Yeah.
Let's get you settled into your room. I can handle the rest of the cleaning. Trust me, I do this.
I'm like,
Everything's
wait.
Culture shock. You're good.
And I just let him escort me wherever we're going.
What room is she in?
Second on the right.
Second on the right. Sounds good. Let's go. Where are the stairs? Here are the stairs.
Did I say something wrong? I don't understand. I'm just
No,
so
well,
confused.
it's, they're just social cues depending on where you are. It seems like he has a history with her. It's better to just, let them do their thing and work it out. You didn't do anything wrong. Just, people speak differently in different locations. And just to look, just try and read his face. He just wasn't very happy with us at the time. Just clean exit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. There's a learning curve for everyone. I'm sure if I went where you're from, I would be a whole bunch of awkward more than I already am.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hold up.
Like, Safina's the collected one of the group right now.
So, why don't you settle in, and when Gabe gets back, I assume I'll look around and there's 3 beds in there.
Yeah, so
I'll assume the 3 of us are in here, and it seemed like Cass had been here for a little while, so she might have her own room, and we can just see where we are in the morning.
okay. So is Safina finishing up and going to bed? What's Gabe doing? And
Gabe
what's
has-
everyone doing, really?
Well, he would go back down and
Okay.
check on Gabe, because there's a bunch of strangers down there that he doesn't know.
Yep.
What is Gabe doing?
Gabe has crawled up on the bar stool and just looking at Stanley, and he looks up.
Excuse me, do you have any broken plates, cups, forks, anything?
So, roll an insight check for Stanley.
Oh boy. One character, I don't have anything. That's fine. Roll!
Sometimes you don't need it. You're a 12. You notice in your complete social awkwardness that Stanley's not in a great mood. So he just stares at you and lies. No.
I can fix them for you if you have any. And that's all I want to say.
He gets off the stool.
If I've arrived at that point, I would. Like, You ready to get some shut eye there, Gabe?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I just showed Alara where we're staying, so if you want, I could walk you up. Otherwise, it's the second door on the right upstairs. What do you think?
I can do it.
You got
I
it?
can get there. Yeah.
Okay.
I got it. And he'll just pause. Hey, Safina,
Yes.
be safe.
I always am. The best I can be.
Okay. Let's go downstairs.
Upstairs.
Upstairs.
Go upstairs.
Well, do you go downstairs?
Walks to a
There is
basement.
downstairs.
When he says upstairs.
Dash, dash.
Okay. And he'll go upstairs. Up. 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 Thank you.
And he'll just kind of nod at Stan.
Stan just cleanest thing, nodding back. Order always takes care of things.
At this point, is the place more or less clean? Like, if I left to maybe go and see if I could find Cass, like, do one thing.
It definitely needs a whole lot more cleaning, but your read on the bartender is that he's not gonna like not let you leave until you go. It's a lot more of a Western type setting. Like you do you as long as you take care of things at whatever pace you want to do it at.
Well, since he asked me to look at the weeds, I'll use that as an excuse. I won't say I'm gonna go check the weeds, but if he asks, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna go look at the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
And just see if I can see Cassandra from where I am.
Yeah. Cass, what happened when you left?
So, I imagine she's had this happen to her before.
Yes.
Because she stands up, so she'll kind of be kind of thing where she'll have her bed roll out and just kind of get prepared to sleep outside,
Like in the street?
like behind the tavern, because I'm assuming there's like a wall around the city kind of thing.
So like Verde? No. Frontier. Darn it, there's no wall.
Oh, okay.
But there's nothing stopping you from sleeping behind the tavern, no.
Yeah, so like just going right behind the tavern where she's still nearby, and if anything happens, she can still protect you guys, but not actually in the bed. So she's getting her bedroll out, getting her not well kempt blanket out. Just be like, all right, let's do this, and just preparing to sleep out there.
Is your thing somewhere?
Yep.
Yep, behind the tavern. I went all the way around.
Literally outside the one place we had.
Yeah, it's like, just gonna keep going.
Yep.
I'll find her eventually. So I'll walk up and I'll say that I put the two to bed. Do you need anything while you're out here tonight? Do you think Stanley will let you back in, or I don't know if this is a regular occurrence or
Stanley runs a good business, but he does not have much honor.
that's fair.
This is not a unusual thing for me. I can stay out here. I've done it many times before.
All right.
Just make sure that they're not taken advantage of.
No, I put them upstairs. I think Stanley was ready to maybe wrap things up for the evening and needed some quiet space. So, sorry, I called you over earlier before you left, but it didn't seem appropriate to bring up while everyone was at the table. But when Mig was with us and you mentioned Troy, it seemed like he was about to say something, but he didn't. And I just thought you should know because I lost someone important too, and I needed information for his whereabouts when I tried to find him, and I would have appreciated any help that I could have gotten. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
He might know something, he might not know something, he might have like a long distance cousin named Troy and be like, oh, I know Troy.
Such a common name.
Unfortunately, I know exactly where Troy is.
Okay. Either way, he seemed like he knew something. So.
I don't think I would be the best person to get that information out of him. He seems to not like me, and I also do not like him.
He seems like a bit of a character.
That is definitely one way of putting it. If you do talk to him, I know he had information for Alara, and I would not want to stop you guys from getting that information. Can you just ask him about the cult of Giggurath?
Sure. If he asks in what context, like what are you looking
If there's
for?
been any sightings of them around.
Okay. Would the cult of Giggurath sound familiar to Safina? I don't
Yes.
think it came up. Did it?
It came up in Hell a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm sure like all over the place in Hell.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. So, yes. Demonic cult bent on invading Arhor'ha while you were in Avernus. So, yeah, quite a
Did
bit.
he ever have like direct dealings, or?
Oh, yeah, during his time there, he definitely had to beat up at least a couple of them.
Oh, okay.
And escape from a couple of them.
All right. The cult of Giggurath, you said?
Yes,
What's your relation?
I hate them.
Fair enough. Fair
Such
enough.
a sunflower.
I
I hate everyone.
In my travels, I ran into some members, but luckily, they did not leave in good condition. So we have something in common, you and I.
Good. I don't hate everyone. I like the group.
The group is a solid group. We are a group.
We are a group. We are.
But in the tavern, we are the second door on the right. I should probably make sure that they stayed in the room and finish cleaning up. But
Yeah.
if you need anything, I'm sure you could try and find me. Do you want me to ask Stanley towards the end of the night if you're allowed in, or you just hunker down, you're good to go?
I'll be fine here, but thank you. Watch out for Gabe. He goes invisible, but I'm sure you know that.
Well, yeah, I'll try and keep an eye out if I can. Make sure we're not playing an unknown game of tag.
Yes. That'd be good.
All right. Well, good dreams.
It's like-
Is this a side door?
It is a side door. It goes into the kitchen.
Is it unlocked or locked?
It is currently locked.
Fair enough. Okay, to the front door we go. All right. Then I guess Safina would clean until cleaning is done.
Okay. So that would take about an hour to do. What is elsewhere in the tavern, Alara and Gabe. Wanna recap your text RP and then pick up?
Recap. Yeah, so after Safina leaves, she sits down on the bed and she starts kind of writing in her book about some of the things that she saw today. Gabriel, I mean, he comes over and at this point, he actually puts the blanket on Alara's lap. So, just a little. Here is Celestian symbol laying across her lap. So she's kind of honored that he trusts her, but it just seems, I don't know. She wants to know where he got it from. So like her mannerism seems very tense right now. Just she likes seeing it, but it's just, why is this here? It just seems kind of coincidental.
It was my Grand.
Was? I'm sorry. May I ask what happened?
He tenses up, starts to stare at the ground. Tears start pouring down his face.
No,
He can barely try to, and he manages to look up at you. He was stabbed in the market. No one helped. I couldn't do anything.
I'm so sorry. I pat him on the head. pat.
He starts to cry even more.
No. But you have this blanket, right? To remember her by? And that's something?
From his body language, he starts to withdraw, sort of turning his shoulder to you, not looking, shaking his head as if in a trance, as he just continues to just cry, his eyes coming puffy and red by this point.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. She's like panicking.
He's not sobbing, it's just silently crying. Just tears. He doesn't make a sound.
How long ago was this?
Years. 5 months. 6 days. 4 minutes. 3 seconds.
I'm really sorry, Gabriel. I wish there was something I could say to make it easier.
Grand would always, when it was cold, she would wrap me up under the blanket and tell me stories about stars. And I would look out the window and I'd see a lot.
Oh, I think that's one of the.
I think it has something to do with you. Grand didn't really talk about religion. She always was telling me to think on my own. She didn't really try to influence my decisions. But if she was a worshiper of Celestian, she didn't tell me a thing. From the way Safina was talking, I kind of assumed there weren't any more people.
I can't say for sure. It's not one that we would boast about, or you're not going to find like a church in a major city or anything like that. It's not about that. It's about just exploring and wandering and just studying the stars, really. So I'm sorry. I keep patting him on the head. But in a way, though, it's the beauty of it all is even in the worst moments of your life, you always have the stars to look up to. they'll always be there.
He leans against your shoulder.
Not when you're in a cell. Not when you're
Yes.
locked behind bars. There's no window to look up from. And you only have hay and the walls. There are any scars in your own mind. You can't see them unless you want them there. And then when you want them there, you don't look the same.
I just keep patting him on the head.
Aww.
There.
There, scared little bunny. There.
I can help you.
Sort of wipes a tear away. He looks up, and there's, not saying that he was clearly wrapped in himself, but he heard a few things, snippets of what you were saying. And he blinks, his eyes sort of really red, probably from crying so much.
My ground is connected to Celestial. I'm sure we can find others. And they can help us both. I think.
I'm. There's a possibility, yes. I would like to learn more about Celestian and in general, which is why I asked about the blanket. But maybe in the process we could find more about your grandmother.
Turns around. His legs crossed as he just wipes his eyes a little bit more. And he hasn't done this in a long, very long time, but he holds up his hands apart as if inviting you to give him a hug if you wanted to.
I give him a hug.
Aww.
He hugs back.
Bring
Watch
us
too
on
much tears.
slow Norris for that.
Oh.
And he hops down off the bed and tugs on the blanket
Oh.
to see if he'll stop him.
And I let him. I give it back.
Wraps it around. Waddles over to the bed. Just lays down with Yorkie on the pillow. She's already asleep.
Night, Laura.
Good night, Gabriel.
And he'll go to sleep.
Oh. About the time he's dozing off, Safina makes his way up.
I'm like going back to writing.
I'll move you, everybody. There you go. And let me recenter so you know where you are. There you go.
Did you find her?
Yes. Yeah, she's set up outside. She said she's good to go for the night, so when you're ready we can just wave at her through the window, I guess.
Hey,
Um,
go ahead.
Hopefully by morning Stanley will calm down, or we'll get lucky and there will be another person working. But let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Are you sure she'll be okay? I mean, she'll be okay. She'll be
She'll be fine. She made it seem like this happens from time
Oh.
to time.
All right.
How are you
well,
holding up? Seems like you're a long way from home.
To be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I don't miss home. I just I actually have been kind of enjoying this. I wasn't expecting to meet all of you today or anything like that, so that was really warming. I'm kind of doing this on my own, so with the prospect of having some people to talk to on the way is quite enjoyable. I don't want to get anybody hurt in the process, so that's just my concern. If this is that bad as what you all seem to make it out to be, I don't know.
Well, I think we all know how to take care of ourselves, and I think even if you tried to stop Cassandra from coming, I don't think you could at this point. And
True.
Actually stalking you from behind, like
Just comes out of the bush. I'm watching you.
good.
Are you safe? Okay.
so, yeah, no, I think you don't have anything to worry about. We're all here for different reasons and trying to help each other out when we can.
Might be on mute.
What?
Oh,
Oh, I
no.
didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I said I am kind of nervous of what I'm going to find there. You see this book that I have with me, and I like hold it up. There's some writings from other followers in the past, and they had spoken of this place, which is what Meg saw as well in this book. And I feel like I have to go there, and I don't know what is going to be there. If anything, it could be just a really nice lake. But I don't know. I think that's the as much as I really like the unknown and exploring and the wander, it still doesn't gives me some anxiety at the same time.
That's fair. I mean, if everybody knew how everything was, I mean, that'd be awfully boring. And I mean, it's kind of exciting not to know. And you're going to have anxiety about everything until you do something at least once.
Sure.
And then you know that's either an awful idea or like, oh, this is actually quite nice.
True.
And we might meet something very nice in the woods. I mean, we could meet something bad, but
It could be
we're all
bad.
good at running, so. Or we'll just leave Cassandra to take care of it.
Well, I will do my best. Should we encounter any beasts that want to kill us, and if you guys get hurt, I will figure it out. I will help you. It'll be fine, I'm sure. You all seem a lot more experienced in the wilderness than I could ever imagine. So I'm grateful to have you along.
I'm more personally attuned to the water, really. I like ships and boats.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been in the woods, not as much, but my affinity has always been for the sea.
Are you a pirate?
got full fucking circle down.
It's the circle of deity on our way.
I wouldn't use that word.
Gender pirate.
Yeah.
Too many of those. Every season needs a gender pirate. We've learned.
I was captured by pirates for a while, actually. When I first started out, but it was actually my master who saved me from them.
Really?
So, yeah. And then I was out on the seas for a while. We weren't pirates. We did tasks for people, kind of like mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
But no, we didn't pillage and plunder.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
one
that's
of that moral. Um,
That's Friday.
yeah, did that yesterday. But no, no. Long story short, I'm not a pirate.
Okay. Well, and so you're looking to find your master. Is that correct?
Yeah, last I heard, she and 4 other monks headed northeast of um, Verde. So running
What?
into you was fairly serendipitous.
Hmm. What why are you trying to seek her out, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, well, since I found out the fate of my friend a little while ago, the reason I left to find him, um, it's just, I left to find him and then I discovered that he is no longer with us. So in a way, I have that in common with Cassandra, but now, I realize that the monastery and everyone there was really like good family, and I really feel like I need to find them again and to apologize for leaving and see if they'll let me back in.
Uh,
Not that I got permission from Solsera to leave, but I still feel very guilty for leaving them. I feel like maybe it was a sign that I took them for granted, like, oh, like, thank you for providing house and home. Um, I worry that they think I thought, oh, I found something better. Be right back. Um, and that's just not the case. And I wanted to tell them that.
I'm sure that they would understand.
I hope so.
I'm mm. I'm I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
Totally in character about that.
No worries, you're probably tired.
um so are we planning on leaving at dawn then? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we should probably get up and have breakfast.
Okay.
And then find Cassandra and head out. Maybe bring her some food.
Okay. Well, I mean, you should get some sleep as well. I'm just gonna write a little bit longer in my book and then probably go to sleep.
That sounds good. I'll take the small bed.
Okay. Which leaves us with Cassandra. What's Cassandra doing? Just falling asleep outside?
Yeah, she's got like all her stuff together. And she's just trying to I imagine she has like a map of some sort of just like the general area that's just of wherever she's explored.
Mhm.
And just trying to look at it, and because she's heard of the lake that they're going to, just
Mhm.
trying to think of if she knows of any way to get there, or if it's close to anything that she's
Right. So, you don't, and it's definitely something that you and Troy have heard about, but almost to a point of it being mythic, like the idea of like a golden fleece, or like a white stag, or a bunch of these other things, like lore, like something you'd read in a book, but you've never seen it, and you've gone out a number of times. You know how to go about and find sources of water, you know how lakes are formed, and all of that would leave you some sort of trail. Um, so you have your doubts that it even exists outside of folklore.
okay. And I know that she was told that it was northeast.
Correct.
Have I heard of any movement or anything in that direction?
Context.
Like Gigareth, or like anything with like College of Gigareth, anything like that in that area?
Nothing that specifically calls out the cult.
Okay.
However, it has been your assumption and why you're venturing that if things were to be cult related, is still a proximity to Nexus. So several of the cult did flee the persecution. You assume that they have some degree of proximity to Nexus, which would still put them
Northeast, right? That's...
or east in general. Really the woods, but that's a huge span of a place. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but nothing that says, yeah, they're in Bandit Camp 34, worshiping a bone demon. I mean, they're probably out there, yeah, if they did indeed flee in that direction.
Okay, and what is the state of Nexus right now? Because that's where.
It's in complete disarray, but you personally haven't been there in a while. There are a few people that likely have had to travel through Nexus and could account for its state.
Gotcha. Okay, so she's going to be kind of going through her stuff and planning, trying to think of the best course of action, even though she does doubt that the lake exists. Just the best way to see as much as she can and get as much information. Anyone in the town that has recently gone to Nexus or near there, like anyone that she's known that's traveled in, or like merchants that have gone there recently?
It's interesting, right? As you start thinking about this, you realize that there has not been many caravans. You've been rather absorbed in your own world, really. But when you start thinking about, when's the last time there's been a caravan from Nexus, you realize that you can't remember them. You were pulling on memories of your time with caravans and thinking, they come here all the time. But you're like, has one come this month? No. Interesting. What about since the events that happened with Troy? No. You actually can't recall the last time a caravan from Nexus has been to Verde.
That's concerning. Okay. So I'm gonna put that in my mental thoughts. Oh, like, okay, so like, there haven't been any caravans coming through, so there's got to be something, because that used to be like a typical thing. So either something is stopping the caravans, or like out on their way here, or something is wrong with Nexus that they aren't even leaving to get here.
Correct. There's something. It is definitely a difference from what you are used to in the state of things in Verde, or at least how things were, say, a year ago.
Okay. Do I know of any like safe areas of travel in the woods, if there even are?
You know very well that there are no safe ways of traveling the woods unless you are a talented ranger.
Which we do not have one, right? We do not have a ferret.
You undervalued Farron. Now here he is, not saving your bacon.
Wouldn't it be nice, huh?
Isn't it ironic, don't you think? It's like Farron in the wooded lands.
Alright, so I kind of on my like just handwritten out map, kind of like plot a way of like maybe going through into Nexus to see where that is, see if she can get more information. So she's just kind of planning.
Okay, just as a reminder for like time and whatnot, leaving out from Verde is just you can do it immediately. You're in the wilderness. Right. Leaving the trade road to Nexus, you'll be gone for a week before you get there.
Gotcha.
So it's not like a light. I'll hit Nexus. I'll get a quarter milk, and I'll come back and look for this lake. You're pretty committed to your journey at that point, unless you're just like saying I'll go east and it puts me in the closer direction of Nexus.
I was thinking, going closer to Nexus to kind of see if there's other dangers that are stopping. I guess she's going to be looking to see if the traders have just been stopped, like the caravans have just been destroyed on their way there.
Okay.
To see if there's like a new danger out there.
I will say that based off of everything that's happened so far, that would directly take you away from looking for the lake.
Oh, then
like northeast. So let me draw a little bad. Let's do a little bad drawing. So
Ooh.
I'm
you
gonna
got a
pull.
draw here?
No, I'll pull you over to the top, and I'll just use roll 20 to draw.
Okay.
So let me grab Cass, who is still outside and does not get a bed, over to this tavern area.
Ooh.
Cool. So we're all in the same location, approximately, there. All right. So let me use this beautiful draw tool. Let me freehand this. Cool. I will use red, and I will draw as an object. So to go to this circle, which we're going to call as Verde, where you are, you're going in this general direction down to Nexus, which is a slightly larger location.
Okay.
Everything. So what was said so far is that northeast is where you believe the lake is, which would be, say, Gabe's face. So you would be going in a pretty far direction away. The way what I was trying to explain is that you could go like east, which would put you in the direction of, but no matter how you look at it, you're not solving that problem or this problem.
Yeah, that's fair. It'd be solving 0 issues.
Yeah. So can I multitask? The long and the short is not effectively, or even at all, based off of geography.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was remembering the map off of memory, and I was remembering it incorrectly.
That's fine.
So then, in that situation, I'll just kind of like look at what I've written down so far of what I've explored in the Northeast, just so I have an idea of where we'll be going.
Okay.
So still planning, but not planning towards Nexus.
So just what are some landmarks that you're familiar with in that general vicinity? Okay.
If there's been any like things that I had like written myself, I was like, oh, I want to see this area. Like I haven't gone over here.
Roll a nature check.
Okay. Not struck.
Okay. You know that there are creatures with gnashing teeth all over there with that 5. You've made record, and your record was about gnashing teeth level of description of what was attacking you. You're like, I'm gonna get closer to my elvish heritage and nature. I'm not good at this. It tried to eat me, so I not died, and now I'm making a note. It might be the blood loss talking, but gnashing teeth.
The sharp, pointy teeth.
Sharp, pointy teeth. Correct.
Okay. So I will look at my notes of sharp, pointy teeth. Be like, okay, might want to avoid those sharp, pointy teeth. And so still doing the same thing, just not equating Nexus into this situation.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do? For you, everyone else so far has clicked the I have gone to sleep button.
They have. They all don't have money, right?
Correct.
I have some money. Don't like to spend it.
I know that this tavern is the only place that has, like, is there anywhere place that I can get, like I know Alara didn't have anything, like just rations for them before. That's still open.
Yeah. Not at sundown. No.
Okay.
There is a general store.
But not now. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you can buy goods in the tavern, like food. They have food. There's a kitchen.
She's not allowed in the tavern.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, then I will just head to sleep after that.
Okay. All right, so you fall asleep, and I'll take a brief time to rest. Yay! For those that can rest, some of you trance. Half of you, at least half, almost all of you trance, right?
You have stress? Yeah. Yes.
I can't remember.
Safina doesn't.
Safina doesn't. Safina's a half.
I'm also.
That's the big question. Do half elves trance?
Well,
As everyone consults your books. Because I honestly can't remember either. I know that they have the phase resistances.
No, they do not have the trance trait.
Yeah, I think it's just full elves. So I think it's just Alara.
So just Alara, just not really sleeping in the bed. Doop-a-doop.
I'm writing.
And while, just writing on times. And I do apologize for anyone who's currently watching a stream. I'm seeing some frame drops, and
Ooh.
I'll have to look into that. We had that problem yesterday, too.
Oh no.
Alas, I will not be DMing and rebuilding
No.
OBS, however. All right. Well, all of you get a. Well, that's not true. Some of you get a good night's sleep.
I get to.
Gabe, you get good. Yeah, Gabe, you get a good night's sleep. Tavina, you get a good night's sleep. Alar, you get a good night's trance. Alar, you wake up. Not Alar. Cassandra, you wake up and your back hurts, but other than that, you have slept.
Yep.
Getting close to nature the forced way to do so.
Yep. Like, it is technically closer to nature.
This is true. And now it is morning. What do you wish to do in the morning lands? Let me set your wonderful scene as when you come down there, not everyone who was there is still there. Stan is still there. Almost like he owns the place.
Owns the place, yeah, like almost like he owns it.
However, someone does not need to be there. Who currently is Mr. Travers having breakfast. Yeah, so we'll put Cassandra at the entrance. So the 3/4 of you would be coming downstairs. There's the smell of bacon just permeating through the air. You can almost hear it sizzling through your nose, like good old breakfast meats just filling up the tavern.
Well, Safina will grab a seat. He's looking forward to eating bacon.
Okay. So you grab a seat.
Same seat as last time.
Same seat as last time.
Consistency is key.
Mm-hmm. You have observed from your time at the tavern that there is no real waiter/waitress, so there will be no one coming for your order.
Never mind. I would like some bacon and breakfast, please.
There's no serving wench, as you would say. Stanley looks at you, nods his head, and says, "Put on your tab. The order's always been good to us." He seems good. Roll insight. See if Stanley's mood has been less sour-ish.
Insight. Okay.
He does seem like he's in slightly better spirits.
Thank God.
Like a good night. Thanks, Lesson. Like a good night rest is what the guy needed. So
Right.
he puts it in order to the kitchen. Hey, you lot! Yeah, some bacon, please. So breakfast plate.
Yes.
All right.
Everyone else?
Gabe will walk over and sit with Mig.
Mig's eating his breakfast plate like, bacon is delicious.
Not a lie.
He's just like, there's a piece strips just like dangling out of his mouth, like attached to the lower part of his white beard. As Gabe hops on over, like the white bunny that he is.
Mig.
Puts the rest of the bacon on the plate. Gabe?
You
Oh!
pat his back.
It goes down good.
Laura laughing at him.
Alright.
Oh gosh.
Go ahead, Gabe. Oh, the precious bunny. Take a seat. We'll address you shortly.
I'm gonna go to Stanley and get a plate of bacon
Plate of
as
bacon.
well.
So,
Yes.
Just bacon?
yeah, we'll play that bit out. So you and all of your glorious redhead awkwardness just stands over in front of. Where the hell was your token? Oh, literally.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
well, there we go. Let's just fix that little issue. All right, Laura, and your redhead gloriousness, you head over to Stanley.
Can I have whatever they're having?
Breakfast plate? Absolutely. Now the breakfast plate. It'll be they have to cook it.
Stand here, or should I sit?
I'll let you know when it's better up here to get picked up.
Okay. Okay. My name is Alara.
He dust offs his hand, and you realize that doesn't work. There's just so much grime, like he needs to wash them.
Ew.
Yep. As the bartender, he's just like covered in bacon grease in his hands. He's like, he realizes like when he extends his hand, he kind of like slowly pulls it back. Stanley.
It's nice to meet you.
And he very casually goes over to the water to wash his hands.
Come sit down.
I stare at him, Stanley, and then I walk to Safina and sit down.
Okay. Cool. So Gabe, you were missed saying something to Mr. Travers.
I know that we talked about this already, but did you get any more magic items through the night? Something broken that I could? I don't know.
No, I'm afraid that there hasn't been a lot coming in for trade to do that with. You're very, very talented young man. You may have better luck with, and he just looks over to Safina and Alara. You may have better luck with them finding things. The wilderness is full of old ruins and mysterious places that I am not even sure if I dreamed them up or if they were really there. Boy, the ramblings of an old man. I'm sure you'll find plenty of things to fix. And he just, again, stares at Safina and then at Laura.
Oh, okay. Thank you again for not turning me in jail. No, just not throwing me in jail. Telling people I stole.
And Cassandra will be pretty much at the door at that point. Like, Gabe, you're a good boy. A little strange, but you make good company. You're fine. You look out for yourself out there, and if you come across any intact items, you bring them on back to old Mig Travers, and I'll take a look at them. Perhaps I can get them sold for you.
Old, you're barely pushing 200.
That's actually go ahead and roll perception on that one.
Oh, geez.
As Mig has never really told you how old he is, he certainly does look to be like he's in his, last quarter of his life. But he seems really, sad when you call him that old. He's like, time gets ahead of you.
Pat.
No, it's the bacon. It's gonna be the death of me.
Hopefully you'll pass on the smile.
I think your friends are waiting for you.
Okay. Bye. Let's hop off and just scurry back. And just look down the table.
Mig just shakes his head. Then he realizes that Cassandra is there. Like, for the love of Agma.
She's gonna walk by. She's gonna go up to Stanley.
Stanley's just cleaning, with clean hands now, a plate.
May I please have breakfast? I promise I won't talk to any of your patrons.
It's a new day. All that's behind us. You can have some breakfast. Breakfast plates!
Thank you. And I'll go over. Okay.
On the table. Just not reinforcing
I
the
am the
comment from
table.
earlier.
It won't let me go. Okay, yeah, I'll go there.
You can hold down Alt and get fine tuning for it, but
Gotcha. That's
just it's just a placemat. It's all theater of the mind.
I have not become the table.
You have that's good. So in everyone's mind, she does not just become Mimic Table. Surprise! She's actually the big bad evil girl.
We laughed. The table laughed. We killed
The table.
It was a good time.
Mimics.
How did you guys sleep?
Pretty well.
Good.
How was your sleep?
It technically qualifies as sleep.
Maybe we'll find a softer spot tonight out in the woods.
It's like, let me leave these wood, like this floor, to go to different.
Another one.
different. Safina, you should talk to Mig about your compass. Wasn't he going to give you some options?
He implied that Gabriel would be a better resource to fix it than him. Seemed. But I could pop by and ask him again before we head out.
He's right there.
I'm not too fancy on leaving it with someone.
He's right
A bit of
over
a
there.
very
He's like, it's right there.
okay. So, well, I'm gonna. Okay, the food isn't there yet, correct?
Not yet.
Okay, well then he'll get up in there.
Why don't we just invite him to our table?
Because I think Cassandra scares the batshit out of him.
She's like, I don't want to stop you guys from getting information.
That's pretty smart.
Like, I don't. Like, I feel
So
like
Mig is literally like the grumpy old man in the corner as like Safina makes his way over to his little
Yeah.
table where he's eating bacon.
If there's a seat, he'll sit down.
There's a 3-seated table.
Let's see. How was your sleep? Your bacon good?
My thank you. Yes, the bacon is amazing, and the sleep in my bed was comfortable.
It's nothing like sleeping in your own bed, to be honest.
It is quite nice. You sleep the best. You feel safe, sound. Don't wake
Really?
up with night terrors or anything from adventuring out on the road.
So when willing. And I'm sorry, I think our conversation got cut short a little bit yesterday. Just about my compass. You kind of implied Gabriel would be a good maybe person to take a look at it. But I didn't know if maybe you happen to know what was wrong with it. I don't know how common magical compasses are in the world.
It's well, in Duodecim they make it's like a commodity item, but it's
Oh, okay.
yeah. So it's very odd for a monk to have things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Meg looks at Safina and says, from the handling that Gabriel had of it, he is likely to restore it to some function. There's certainly something broken with it. The
Can't
core.
help it.
Yeah, no,
Right.
definitely the core. It's like it's difficult to explain, but there is a piece, like if your hand was broken, and if you had your hand chopped off, it wouldn't be the same hand. If you'd have like another hard topic. In short, I'm sure that Gabriel could fix it, and so could I. Could give a temporary measure to it. If
Is there
it's
like a certain part that it needs?
very likely, but not. It would burn out. It would evaporate like water under heat. You would need something more permanent.
Like what, I guess?
It depends on what part is broken.
Can you tell what part is broken?
It's one of 3. Can I see it?
Yes.
So Mig takes your compass and puts his goggles on. One extends out a bit like a jeweler, and he sets his plate aside and starts going through it. Very both similar and yet different to Gabriel, whereas Gabriel was definitely using his hands and was very almost like street smart. Mig was taking it and being very like academic with it. Like this plate goes here, very orderly. And then he taps something with a very small piece of copper. And he's like, okay, well, this is the piece that's broken. Very broken. It's... What did it... You said that this item did again?
It pointed in the direction of the thing I desired most.
I see. Did you find it?
The person that it was pointing towards is deceased now.
I see. How... Pardon the, me being me, I suppose, but... How did you take that?
Not very well. No, not good. It's a whole epic, but very not well, because I gone to a place and I found him, and then I had to go somewhere else very unpleasant, and I thought he was fine, and then when I returned from that bad place, I discovered that he was not who I thought he was, and then also he was dead.
I see. Well, the item itself has a very basic function based off of desire, and it is broken. So you would not be able to find the thing you desire. There is a similar item I can put in that would last for about... where's the moon? He thinks about it for a moment. Until the next full moon approximately would work, but it wouldn't help you find the things you desire. It would help you find specific sites of high concentrations of magic. I don't know if that would be of any help to you, but is the only item that I have. Gabriel probably could fit it to do more interesting things.
Like what?
I have no idea. The way that he works is that he takes things like... Ask him about his wand sometimes. How it came about is not how that item should function. So it's as much a mystery it is to you, it is to me.
He's a bit of an enigma, isn't he?
It's very intriguing.
Well, if it... Because, out of character, is it pointing in, like, the general direction of what he desires, or just, like, not at all?
Not at all. Like a broken compass.
Okay. So, are you kind of saying that in order for my compass to work again, essentially, I have to work on my heart being mended? Is that what you're saying?
And replace the component that would then look for things of desire. Yes.
I didn't look at it before, but what kind of components do that?
Are you asking in character that question?
Yeah, no, yeah, this is all back.
Okay,
in
yeah,
character,
yeah.
sorry.
The component that does that is right here. He points out to it. And it's a small, like, quartz that would exist there. Only you can see that it has lots of hairline fractures in it to the point where you're afraid if you actually move it, it might come out in pieces.
Okay. Sorry, just making notes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like a straight up quartz, or it's just like a stone that looks like quartz?
It's an enchanted gem.
Okay, so I'd have to get a gem and get it enchanted.
Specific type of gem and get it enchanted, yeah.
A quartz.
Gemstone. It looks like a quartz, so it's a clear-cut gem, like a quartz.
Okay.
You can put down, if you're putting down notes, magical gemstone. You can get an onyx if you'd really like. That might send you to the abyss. But I mean, it's a magical gemstone. Depends on what you want the compass to point to.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I've already been to bad places, and
Yeah.
I'm working on it, and I still like myself, so I'd like to stay on this realm.
Just put an opal in there and be like, I want to go to happy places.
Yeah.
What's the happiest place in Aurora? Oh, thank you. Oh, what's an opal? He finds himself at a day spa. It's okay.
Hey, they know what they're doing. Okay, well, thank you, Mig. I appreciate all the assistance.
Mm-hmm. He starts putting it back
Just
together.
one, what?
He starts putting it back together as you talk. It's a process.
And